Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we have some very interesting news to go and cover on over here when it comes to PlayStation. Now, as you guys may or may not know, PlayStation and Sony has been kind of going through a pretty big patent rush, where a lot of the times they've been kind of testing out and testing the waters to see what they can add to the console, to the controller, or anything else out there to try to make everything a little bit more unique and a little bit more special. Now, when it comes to PlayStation as a whole, we do think the PlayStation 5 controller had a really big uptick when it came to special features and kind of uniqueness, I guess. It's kind of hard to say, I guess. I don't know, maybe it was stupid when it comes to the controller itself. Now, the PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 did have a big jump when it had more of like adapted feedback. It also had those really cool haptic feedback, as well as also just everything. Like you have like the various levels on your controller, on the actual like triggers themselves, and the controller itself is cool. And literally has a built-in microphone, and overall, it's nice. We also have the DualSense Pro, which is really cool, but when it comes to brand new things, and we kind of learned this from Nintendo, a lot of the times we want to see even more innovation. And surprisingly, a lot of things coming out right now for the future PlayStation 5 controllers, more so probably PlayStation 6 controllers, are actually really sick. So we're going to go talk about this, talk about these brand new ideas, and everything else that might be coming out from PlayStation in the future. And as well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. It'll be Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow. And we keep on mentioning the HOW link overall all throughout all the videos. So if you guys want to check out any of those very individual links from our HOW sponsor, mainly from Best Buy itself, because we're a Best Buy affiliate when it comes to the brand new Theraguns as well. I'll link down below. And of course, we've been on a nice little vacation, so if you guys have been enjoying all the videos too as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed for that. So first and foremost, I'm going to give you guys a quick little glimpse and all that stuff, where Sony is patenting a new kind of PS5 controller with headphones inside. Now, this is kind of a little fun little diagram to kind of show you guys like the rough idea, but we've been seeing a lot of different articles, a lot more, I guess, attention when it comes to the PlayStation 5 patents. So Sony files a brand new patent application for the PS5 controller that stores and even charges earbuds. But as well, there's also other brand new features that have been kind of coming out throughout the past few months that I also want to go and highlight as well. So a newly discovered patent application could hint at what the next iteration of the DualSense controller may look like. Now, we've had the PlayStation 5 for a while, so I would probably say it's more of a PlayStation 5 Pro or a PlayStation 6 type feature, probably more of a PlayStation 6, as I kind of referenced for Nintendo. A lot of those older things are like kind of bigger things, are more so pushed for console generations. Think the Wii to the Wii U, in terms of like the big touchscreen and motion controls. Switch, more kind of slimmed down, and also more, I guess a little bit more motion controls, more on the Joy-Con side, or like, I'm sure you guys know what I mean. But anyway, for this one, it's cool. It's really cool. So first and foremost, there's a few more updates, but Sony's DualSense controller for PlayStation 5 already has the touchpad, adaptive triggers, a gyroscope, and built-in speaker and microphone. If a recent filed Sony patent application is any indication, a new feature could soon be added to that list: the ability to store and charge earbuds within the DualSense itself, which is cool. So basically, let's go and see. You have like, we'll use Apple for a good example. You have something like, their nice little Apple earbuds. In theory, like, you want to be able to go charge it at any point. You have your own little separate charging station typically, but imagine you just go pull that straight into your phone and charge it. Like, I'm just trying to use a really rough example. So imagine that same exact thing. You're mainly using your PS5 controller. Okay, cool. So maybe you have like a cool either in-zone, I just turned on my PS5, in-zone headset or something, and you have attached on it, even like a normal just controller for your earbuds, whatever it might be. You go ahead and have all that all done, and then guess what? Could go and charge. Like, sometimes things randomly die on you, etc. It's kind of nice to go and have that option just to have that stuff if you wanted in the first place. And that's cool. I think it's a cool, nifty thing, and might as well use the technology. A lot of times you're going to want to use both. So let's say your controller is more charged, you can plug it on in and kind of pop it off. It seems awesome. I like the idea behind it. So first part about the game rant and the patent application, which I do believe this might be the link for it. If not, don't mind me. But the patent application was published on October 12th and includes diagrams of what the next generation of the DualSense controller may look like. Images show slots for the housing earbud in the back of the controller behind the DualSense touchpad or on each side of the controller handles. That being said, the document notes that the pair of slots is not restricted to be defined on the back side of the controller. It can also be defined on other surfaces of the controller, including the front side, any one or both of the lateral surfaces on the top surface or the bottom surface. So if you guys want to go through some of these, you guys can kind of see some rough ideas, although it's kind of weird with this random hair. I'm not really sure why, but it is a little bit of the stranger side. You guys can kind of see where they had the controller for storing, charging, and pairing headbuds. So you guys can look for this one or the other various applications over there. So I guess kind of just based on what we're seeing off of this one is that we have these right here. Like you have like the little like overall, I guess, like media station in your controller, and it'd have a nice little easy slot where maybe you just plop them on in on both sides, and it'd be good to go. I think it's sick. Like, I think it's a cool idea. And we've seen some other iterations too as well, that we've seen like cooling or like even fans on your controller, or if any of these really cool patents will show up and happen in the next PS5 or controller, PS6 controller, whatever it may be, it's gonna be cool. Like, imagine you're in a hot random day, you're in Arizona, Vegas, whatever, and your controller's hot. I mean, just kind of clammy hands, whatever. You're trying to go clutch on a situation. You have little fans on your controller. That seems cool. Imagine you have charging stations on your controller. That seems cool. So show all the other random features you already have in the first place, or even better microphone settings, or better speaker settings. Like, bro, controllers, I feel like, are somewhat underutilized when it comes to all these big game systems. Might as well use them, you know? But anyway, so here's like the actual patent itself. You guys can see where they have like remote servers, internet, the console itself, and they're basically trying to go and have everything charged up here as they're promoting out the little headphones too. A controller for providing inputs to an interactive application includes a first surface with a pair of slots to store earbuds, a plurality of control buttons, and touch input surfaces defined on one or more surfaces, including the first surface. A processor is configured to pair the controller to a computing device, executing the interactive application, and is coupled to each of the slots so as to pair the earbuds receive therein to the controller and share the pairing between the controller and the computing device with the earbuds received in the pair of slots. So overall, it just seems cool. It just seems like a nice little bonus extra feature that's tied into this one. And they obviously go a little bit more into the patent itself on here. We can kind of see the rough idea. They'd have like little individual like inserts, it seems like you put in here too. I'd maybe guess in the future they're assuming you use more earbuds. Earbuds are a little bit of a weird one to have because most of the things are more headsets like some of these versus like individual smaller head buds like we had before. So overall, it's kind of it's like a nifty thing. I'm intrigued on it, but at the end of the day, I'm not really sure if you guys would use this or not. But this kind of goes and ties into more too as well, where you have this. We have the DualSense Heat. And I think this was more an intriguing one that we kind of touched on in a separate video when it came out, where basically Sony's latest patent might have an intriguing one. You could basically have a heat dispenser or also a cool dispenser that can change the temperature based on in-game environments. So let's go and imagine you're playing like, I'll just use Zelda as an example. I know Zelda's obviously on PlayStation. Don't make a comment on that or else I'll sass you. But let's say you're in like a random Zelda dungeon and you're in like a big magma area and everything's really hot in comparison. Well, you go and you see that, and maybe your controller heats up a little bit to get you more immersed in the game. Or maybe you play Uncharted, you're in a volcano, whatever. You're in random God of War and you're in little Hades and it's really cold. And I think this is one of the cooler ideas. Because in theory, you can go and heat things up relatively easy, like look at heaters, or also cool things down relatively easy. Think about ice. I don't know, like AC or something. I have no idea. So you have a chance to utilize all this different type of stuff for these special features for things like the PlayStation 6. And obviously, I don't think we're going to probably utilize this in the current gen because, well, we have what we have. We already have the Pro controller, we have the normal controller, and we're not going to probably see anything majorly changed up on this. But with all these random cool patents, we might want to have a chance to utilize it. There was also even things instead of using it just for pure immersion. For like, say, for this type of example, you'd also do things, like I said, to maybe cool it down. Like maybe it's a hot day, or maybe you've been playing for 5 hours, and you have clammy hands, you could maybe use a little fan and try to your best to go and cool down the controller itself. So they even say for this one, so some example applications would be controller heating up in warmer biomes, like a desert or on a volcano, or Arctic climates, and you can open a fridge to cool the controller down for added immersion. And while they go and say it's kind of impossible, and they'd have to maybe somehow involve a brand new controller, which is why I keep on saying this is going to probably turn more into like a PlayStation 6 thing, if they even do it. But also a reminder too, a lot of patents sometimes don't even default to anything. Now, I think something like using your controller to charge things or have separate things, this seems a lot more of a better idea in my mind. Like, I can feel like this is something both Xbox and PlayStation can utilize. A lot of people have headphones, earbuds, whatever, or you just want to use their controllers in other separate ways. Something like this makes a lot more sense. The coolness, now this is something I would actually use. Like using chargers, that's whatever. Using something like this, I'm more down with this in all honesty. I'm kind of vibing this, if anything. Because I could see myself using this. Although it would probably use up the battery in your controller a lot, so you gotta make sure you have more than like a 3-4 hour battery life, if anything. But at the end of the day, I think some of these patents are really cool. Now, if they could also improve maybe the speakers and microphone, mainly because, well, that just seems nice to me, I would probably like that a little bit more. But at the same time, would you guys like this technology? Would you guys use a heating or cooling controller? Would you guys like something that even has more things like, say, audio for immersion? Or do you guys even use the microphone on your actual controller? Kind of curious. Would you guys ever use your controller to charge things? I don't know. I want to know. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below in case you guys do want to go and follow. And of course, check out all the links down below if you guys are interested in the Theragun promotion with Best Buy, hashtag ad, hashtag Best Buy, and all that good stuff. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.